buttercup, you're a Barbie doll. Show them all what I'm made of. Strut down the hall, won't stop till I get enough.
All right, so we're diving into something pretty special today. Adam Randall's kick return that punched Clemson's ticket to the college football playoffs. December 8th, 2024 ACC Championship.
Right.
Clemson's facing off against SMU. Game's time. The clock is ticking down. You practically feel the tension in the air.
And then Randall just takes over. It wasn't just a game-winning play. It was like a perfect reflection of Clemson's whole season.
Yeah, I was looking at some of these articles from TigerNet, and they really capture Randall's journey. It hasn't exactly been a walk in the park for him at Clemson.
No, not at all. He's had to battle injuries, fight for playing time. Those are the kind of things that can really test a player,
Absolutely, and yet here he is in this absolutely crucial moment. He doesn't just rise to the occasion. He exceeds every single expectation.
It says a lot about his character, but it also speaks to the kind of environment Coach Swinney has built at Clemson.
That's what I find so fascinating about this story. It's bigger than just one play. It's about that culture of resilience, that faith they have in each other.
You're right. And one of the TigerNet articles actually quotes Swinney. He told Randall straight up, "We are not fair catching this." Think about that for a second. That's not just a play call, that's a statement.
It's like he's saying, I trust you, Adam, go make a land. To have that much confidence in a player who hasn't always been in the spotlight, that's powerful stuff.
It really is. And when you look at Randall's journey, it's hard not to see the parallels with Clemson's whole season. They had their ups and downs, moments of doubt, but they never gave up.
And that's what makes this so much more than just a game winner. It's symbolic.
Exactly. It's the spirit of perseverance, the idea that even when things get tough, you keep fighting. That resonates with everyone, players, fans, anyone who's ever faced adversity.
I can only imagine being in that stadium. The energy must have been electric, the clock winding down, the score tied, and then Randall takes that kick.
Chills, literally chills, just thinking about it. That anticipation, the roar of the crowd as he starts to break away, then just pure elation when he sets up that winning field goal.
It's the kind of moment that gives you goosebumps, reminds you why we love this sport.
Pure drama, raw emotion, a testament to what the human spirit can achieve.
What I find really interesting is how Randall himself described the experience. In the article, he talked about the pressure, the weight of that moment, but also this clarity of focus.
Yeah, he said it was like everything he'd been through, every challenge, it all prepared him for that exact moment.
That's what separates the good players from the great ones. Being able to rise above all the noise, stay present, deliver when it matters most.
It's like all those hours of practice, all the sacrifices, the setbacks, they were all leading up to that defining moment.
Makes you wonder, how will this experience, this moment of triumph, shape Randall's future?
Well, that's what we're going to explore in the next part of this deep dive. We'll look at the potential impact on his confidence, his role on the team, his overall trajectory as a player. So we talked about Randall's journey and that amazing moment, but let's step back for a second and look at the bigger picture, the game itself.
Yeah, this wasn't just your average win for Clemson.
Not at all. The TigerNet articles really hammered home how intense this game was. Clemson was up by 17 points at halftime, 24-7 to be exact.
Wow, that's a pretty comfortable lead. I can only imagine what the fans were feeling. To be cruising like that, and then suddenly it's a tied game in the final seconds.
It shows you how resilient SMU was, too. They didn't just lie down. They fought their way back tooth and nail.
So what happened in that second half? Did Clemson ease up? Did SMU make some adjustments?
Well, the articles don't really get into the X's and O's too much, but they do mention a few things. SMU's quarterback, Tanner Mordecai, really came alive in the third quarter. He was throwing dimes, and their running back, Jackson Kunzman, was unstoppable.
So they found some cracks in Clemson's defense.
Seems like it. And on the other side, Clemson's offense kind of sputtered in the second half. They couldn't keep that momentum going.
Which makes Randall's kick return even more important. It wasn't just a game winner. It was a total momentum shift. Rekindled the fire for Clemson right when they needed it.
Exactly. And it's interesting to think what might have happened if Swinney had played it safe. If he'd called for a fair catch.
Would they have gone to overtime? Could they have actually lost? It's crazy to think about those what-ifs.
It really is. And that's where Swinney's leadership and his faith in Randall really shine. He could have taken the easy way out, but he went for the jugular. He trusted his guy.
And that trust paid off big time. Which brings us back to Randall and what this moment means for his future.
Yeah, a play like this, it's huge for a player. It's a confidence booster, a game changer. It raises your profile on the team and in the program.
It's not just about the stats or the highlight reel. It's about showing you can handle the pressure on the biggest stage.
And that's something you can't teach. You earn that through experience, through moments like this.
So how do you think this will impact Randall moving forward?
Well, he's already shown flashes of brilliance, but now he's got this incredible achievement under his belt. It's bound to fuel his confidence and his drive.
I bet the coaches are paying attention too. A player who can deliver in the clutch like that is priceless.
Absolutely. And his teammates will see him differently now. They know they can count on him when the game's on the line. That kind of respect and trust, you can't fake it.
And for Randall himself, this moment will stay with him forever. It's the kind of thing that shapes your career, your whole outlook on the game.
It validates all the hard work, the dedication, the resilience. It's a reminder that all the sacrifices were worth it.
Speaking of sacrifices and resilience, think about the fans. The ones who've been with Clemson through the good times and the bad.
Oh, yeah. Those TigerNet articles are full of comments from fans who were living and dying with every play. The emotional roller coaster they went through must have been something else.
I can only imagine the eruption when Randall broke free on that return. The relief, the joy, the pure adrenaline.
That's what makes sports so special. That shared experience, that collective release of emotion. It brings people together.
And it's moments like this that create legends that become part of a team's history. Years from now, Clemson fans will still be talking about the Randall return.
And they'll remember exactly where they were, who they were, with how they felt. It's a story that will get passed down for generations.
So we've talked about the emotion, the significance for Randall, and the team that connects with the fans. But let's switch gears for a minute and get into the nuts and bolts of that kick return.
Yeah, let's break down how it all worked, what made it so successful, what were the key factors that allowed Randall to make that game-winning run.
Okay, so picture this. The clock's ticking down, the score is tied, SMU just kicked off, and Adam Randall is back there waiting.
No, those TigerNet articles, they mentioned something pretty interesting. Coach Swinney specifically told Randall, "We are not fair catching this." That's a gutsy call in a moment like that.
Oh yeah, you're going for the win right there. No settling for overtime.
And I think that says a lot about Swinney's trust in Randall. You don't put that kind of pressure on a player unless you really believe in them.
It's more than just believing in his skills. It's believing in his composure when everything's on the line.
Exactly. Now, the articles don't give us a play-by-play breakdown, the blocking schemes or anything like that. But they do highlight some key things about Randall's run.
So let's break those down. What made this return so special?
Well, first off, you see Randall's speed and agility right away. He's weaving through defenders, making those quick cuts, finding the open lanes.
Man, I can only imagine watching that live. Him flying down the field, the crowd going wild, the tension building with every step.
Oh, yeah. It's the kind of moment that gives you goosebumps. And it wasn't just raw athleticism either. He had to make decisions in a split second. Which way to go, when to cut back, when to trust his blockers.
It's that combination of instinct and knowing the game that separates the good from the great.
And speaking of blockers, they were crucial in this play. We don't have all the details, but, those guys were out there creating space, throwing key blocks, making sure Randall had a path.
It's easy to forget sometimes. These amazing plays, they're rarely a one-man show. It takes a whole team working together to make it happen.
You got it. And while we don't have the All-22 film to break down every single thing, we can tell from the articles that Randall's vision, his acceleration, and his ability to anticipate his blockers' moves were all key.
So it's a perfect combination. Talent, coaching, execution, all coming together at the perfect moment.
Exactly. And think about the what-ifs for a second. What if Randall had gotten tackled early? What if he'd fumbled?
It's crazy how those little moments can have such huge consequences. The whole game, the whole season, a player's career, it can all come down to one play.
That's what makes sports so captivating. You never know what's going to happen. It's full of surprises. And sometimes it's the unsung heroes, the guys who don't get the headlines, who make the biggest difference.
Like those blockers we were just talking about. They might not be on the front page, but they're absolutely essential.
It's all about teamwork, dedication, everyone working together for the same goal. And in this case, that goal was a ticket to the playoffs.
And they got it in the most dramatic way possible. This kick return wasn't just about winning the game. It was about everything Clemson football stands for.
The resilience, the faith, the never say die attitude. It's a moment that those fans will never forget.
As we wrap up this deep dive, I keep thinking about this. This moment, it was bigger than just football.
It was about the power of believing in yourself and your team, the importance of never giving up the thrill of overcoming the odds.
It was about a young man, Adam Randall, who faced challenges head on and never give up on his dream.
It was about a coach, Dabo Swinney, who built a program on excellence and trust.
And it was about the Clemson family, a whole community united by their love for the Tigers.
This kick return, it wasn't just a play, it was a story.
It was a statement, a moment that will be remembered for years to come.
Absolutely. And as we look ahead to the playoffs and beyond, let's remember that the most impactful moments, the ones that change everything, they can come from anywhere.
So keep an eye out for those hidden gems, those unsung heroes, those flashes of brilliance. Because you never know when the next Adam Randall will step up and etch his name in college football history.
Sound the alarm. I'm coming up. We'll have the ball. I'm sweet like a buttercup. You're Bobby doll. Show them all what I'm made of.